filing taxes in China. Let's talk about that. If I'm an individual, what are some of the limits? After how much income do I need to declare taxes as a foreigner here in China, for example?
Mainly you are talking about the salary income or service income, right?
Individual income tax?
So this individual income tax, every year for each person you have a 60,000 renminbi deduction.
Okay.
So
5,000 a month.
Yes,
After that,
5,000 a month, and after that there's a tax, which is from
It's also bracketed.
by different brackets from 3% to 45%.
45%.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say you make around $5,000 a month, which is 30,000 renminbi, right? Then what would be the tax around?
The personal income tax.
30,000 renminbi,
Yes,
right?
a month.
That will be about 2,500.
Renminbi.
That is just a rough.
Right, roughly.
An idea.
So you make $5,000 and you pay about $300 to $400
taxes.
taxes, right? Roughly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I mean, a lot of the people, they don't declare their full salary.
Yeah.
And companies cooperate with that. Companies, people, right? Because the company is required to declare the people's salaries, right? And the taxes are taken from the company, and the company deducts it from the salary when they give the people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Withhold.
So there is still a very wide practice of not declaring the full salary. Is that correct?
Yeah, there is such practice,
Right.
but we must say this practice is not totally legal.
No, it's probably just not
It's
legal.
not legal. Plain and simple,
Right,
not legal.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
But is it does it happen more, those kind of things, not really legal practices in second tier cities rather than places like in Beijing? Is it more strict?
Probably. I'm not so sure
We're not
about
sure, but-
Beijing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this is this. But I mean, it's some people don't declare at all, right? But I think this is changed a lot over the last many years. So more of taxes, right?
Yeah. I wanted to know when, for example, in America, you have all these turbo taxes and all these apps and all these things that help you file your personal income tax. Are there such things here in China? Like,
Yeah. In China, the government, the tax bureau also have developed such individual income tax declaration app. And you can put your deduction information there, and also you can declare your tax through the app. But for many people who are employed by companies, the more common way is their company will help
Do it
them
for
to
them.
withhold their individual income tax. But through the app, they can see all the information the company has declared.
I had a situation that perhaps I'll just share it here and you tell me your experience. I was working for a school and they were deducting taxes from me, but they were not paying them. When I went to renew my work permit, I needed to show my taxes, and it's like, you haven't paid taxes. I'm like, so I went to the school and basically I quit. But could I have taken any legal action against them?
Sure, because the school should be the first one that the tax bureau should come to, because they are the withholder of your individual income tax. And actually they kept your tax in their pocket, right?
Yeah.
They should pay to
How
the
does
tax bureau.
how does a teacher in China or any other employee, right, foreign employee in China right now watching this, how do they
Make sure.
Oh, maybe my company is doing the same. That's
Yeah, because they did that to me for about 7 months and I didn't know.
Can they check
Okay.
the employee?
Okay, they can check through the app, but for foreigners, for the first time, you may need to go to the tax bureau in person to do a name verification first. And after that, you are going to have a username and password. You can go into the app and check if you're...
Yeah, this happened to me in 2017 and I went there just with my passport to get a printout of my taxes for renewing my work permit. And when it came out like zero, and I was actually downgraded from having like this 5-year visas to a 1-year visa because of that, like...
Some
this
issue.
is- yeah.
Right.
So I blamed the school for
Right.
category C to category B to category C downgraded.
Now, how is taxes related to visas? I mean, like, I think in a few ways, right? In one way, you can, the more taxes you pay, the easier it is to get a visa, right?
Yeah.
If you don't pay your taxes, you're gonna have problems with your visas, right?
Yeah.
And it's getting more strict about this, which
Yes, if a person has the bachelor or bachelor above diploma degree, so they must declare a very high salary. But if they don't, or if they cannot provide the diploma notarization documents, in order to get a visa, the easiest way is to declare a qualified salary.
higher salary.
Yeah, a higher salary. For example, now in Dongguan, from July, the new policy is for Class B, you have to declare a salary more than 21,500 renminbi per month.
Okay,
That
so
is
even
the
without a
salary.
degree,
Yeah.
you could get a work visa.
Yeah.
But you need to declare an income of
a
which is
higher,
higher,
which is
21,000.
okay.
Right,
Yes.
And then
right.
you pay taxes based on that.
pay
Right.
tax, yeah.
You pay
I
tax.
have a thing that I wanted to ask that connects a lot of these ideas. What about Social Security? Social Security for a foreigner. Is it mandatory? Is it optional? How does it work?
Okay, so for Social Security, is according to the law, is still mandatory for
For foreigners?
everyone, including foreign
This is like
employees.
new from a couple of years ago, right?
Yes,
few years
yes.
ago.
According to this new law, new social insurance law, foreigners also are mandatory to pay social insurance.
Which social insurance, just a minute, it includes
It's a package.
unemployment,
Yeah, it's a package.
health,
Pension.
pension, housing, all
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
No housing.
No
housing
housing.
is another separate
Okay,
thing.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It includes pension, working injury, unemployment, medical, and maternity.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying it's mandatory for foreigners.
Yes, yes.
But do you have it?
I do,
You
I
do?
do, I do, I do, I
You
do.
do?
But
Yes.
I must tell that in practice, it's true that many foreigners and also their employers are not paying this social insurance. And of course, if the foreigner has no objection, so basically, it's no problem.
What I
Yeah.
think is that it's a lot of work, it's a lot of investment, it's a lot of work to get all this documentation, this formalities for people who are going to be here for 6 months or a year, or you know what I mean. So for somebody who's a long stayer like yourself or like myself, it makes absolute sense.
I think that first of all, the social security payment is about what 700-800 renminbi every month in total, right? I mean, of course, it changes according to salaries, maybe, but I'm saying the basic
one. Yeah, the basic minimum one now is about 900.
900. And also I want to mention that there is 2 parts to that, right? One part by the company,
Yeah.
and about 2/3, and
Yeah.
one part is by the actual employee, which can be deducted from your salary,
Yeah.
right? But I think one of the concerns I've been hearing from foreigners is like pension. Okay,
Yeah.
even if I work here 3 years, then I go home. Why, am I going to see this pension?
You can apply to refund the pension in your own account. I mean, for the pension, there are 2 accounts. One is the social accounts. That is belong to the social system, the social insurance system. And the other account is your personal account. So you can withdraw the money, withdraw the pension funds from your personal account.
You can.
You
so
can.
it's not lost. You're going to get it.
Right.
If you're
right.
paying it.
Yeah.
What
And-
are other benefits? Sorry, in terms of medical of having Social Security, I haven't used. Have I used it? I don't think I've used it ever. I got it only like a year ago or something.
First of all, you may need to use it with Chinese local hospitals, right?
There
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
some hospitals
There are
now.
there are many hospitals are under this social security system.
Private hospitals too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some
But
private.
this is not full coverage of
Right.
health insurance,
Right,
right? This
yeah.
is just like an aid, or like if something happens and I need to go to the hospital, like Fernando, you have this insurance, right? Do you pay less? Do you know?
Basically, there's I think that my wife had to go to hospital and she paid less than if we would have gotten to Kanhua, whatever hospital. And medicines are also
bit
cheaper.
less.
Yeah. So it does make sense to actually use your
But
social
it's probably
security.
not good enough as instead of.
No.
of,
I don't think it
of a
replaces an insurance
a real-
policy that you could buy, I don't know, whatever company.
Right. And
But
what are the other parts of it? Okay, so unemployment. Can I, as a foreigner, paying this for a couple of years now, social insurance, and now I got fired. That means I can't get my visa anymore. Also, how can I claim unemployment?
You can apply. You
can
can
apply.
apply like Chinese.
Yeah.
The condition is that your social insurance has been stopped.
But they also stopped my visa. I can't even be here, for example.
Right. That could happen.
There's a
That
kind
could
of
happen.
an issue there.
But
And-
isn't there like a period of grace? I mean, for example,
know.
if I
1
get
month?
fired and they stop
There is.
my visa, there should be like a period of grace. I think like
There
a
are
month
several
or
months.
something.
There are several
Oh,
months.
really?
They can stop
Yes.
your work permit card, but this is belong to the HR bureau.
Labor Bureau.
And Labor Bureau. But they are translate such information to the police once several months. So maybe this information will be delayed.
But let's say they fire me and my visa and my passport is done in 2 weeks, then I'm in
that's-
trouble, right? Right. But okay, and another thing that is interesting, I think, about taxes and visas, right? Okay, many people stay in China on a business visa, which have many legal ways to do that, right? I mean, basically, you're legally in China. You're supposed to do business, so not to get a salary in China, but maybe you are a trader. You are supposed to be here to meet with possible partners or current partners. So, it's legal, right? You're here under a valid visa. But you're supposed to pay tax here if you are here on this visa for a certain amount of time every year.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
80 days, I think.
This is for 183 days.
Right.
This is for the countries that has a tax treaty with China. And most of the countries
Have
has.
it.
Have
Right.
it.
So, but there are many people on a business visa, again, legally, but they're not doing that. Nobody's paying taxes on a business visa, almost, right? But I guess it's not enforced. It's not really, it's hard for them to check.
First of all, the work visa and tax obligation are two separate topics. So for tax obligation, they are mainly looking to if you stay in China for more than 183 days or not. This is the key point.
I see.
They don't, regardless what type of visa you're holding.
It doesn't need to be straight 100 consecutive days, right?
Right.
It's within 1 year, 183. Okay.
Yeah.
I have another question. I mean, this is all over the place talking about taxes. What happens when, for example, somebody says like, "Oh, I want to buy this. How much? 3,000." Okay, do you give me fapiao? No, it's more if you want fapiao. Is that legal?
This is okay for the seller. If they sell without fapiao or without charging,
But fapiao is an invoice. Sorry.
fapiao is an invoice. Right?
Official invoice.
This is a Chinese word. It means the seller is doing business in two ways. One is the official way, and the other is
Under the table.
unofficial way. If they don't give you fapiao, that means they are doing business illegally. But this is very common.
If I am the buyer, am I also legally responsible for buying something without invoice?
Let's say even if you instigate, even more,
Yeah, for
I would
example,
say.
let's say you sell me a phone and you don't give me an invoice. Well, he's cheating the system. Am I also part of that cheating because I buy without?
Okay, if you are individuals, so now the law does not say you are also doing illegal things.
Okay.
But if you are companies, you may be challenged by your in-charge tax office. So the in-charge tax office may say, your company, you are helping the suppliers to steal tax.
What I think is that there are so many companies in China, so many. I mean, think about a country that has a lot of industries and a lot of companies. Think about America. There's 300 and something million people. Let's say that there's 300 million companies. There aren't, but let's say that they are. Well, multiply that by a factor of 3 or 4.
Here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Millions of companies. I think that the government basically looks at the larger companies, the larger revenue
I think so.
generating companies, and hey, let's look at your taxes and right.
But I mean, I think it's it's probably similar in every country, but like you said, it's in a big C here.
Like
So
if you have like a small shop in a corner,
but maybe it will come one day, right?
Okay,
The system is tightening.
The trend is still more and more strict. Yeah, especially the golden tax system. The system can work automatically to check and give some.
what is this?
Okay, the tax bureau they have also a developed IT system,
Okay.
and this IT system connect with all the invoice information and all companies tax declaration information.
Banks.
You must have
Yes.
it too. Best probably knows. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure with this system getting more and more developed, so this kind of control will also get more and more strict. So the trend is still for both companies and individuals to be compliance, to be more and more compliance.
Yeah, I have a computer in my
Yeah.
office. That's just for that.
Just
Our
for-
computer, just for the taxes.
Issue 发票.
And for 发票. That is the computer we connect to the printer to issue 发票. And
Yeah.
if there is a problem, sometimes Cathy from the office, she takes the computer to go to the tax bureau.
Yeah.
There's some IT to fix. I think it's getting better recently.
I find it really interesting that they don't work with Apple. A lot of this. Why is that? I mean, you have to have a Windows computer to run some of these apps or some of this.
Oh,
You have to have a certain kind. That's true. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure, but I guess many softwares they are using is based on Windows platform.
Yes.
Yeah.
One question related to this. We talked about a lot of illegal things. How is the punishment in China for these kind of issues, for tax evasion? You know, taxes in the US, from what I know, and I'm definitely not an expert, it's very serious. Very serious. People go to jail, right? How is it in China?
In China, first of all, if you are found out to have tax evasion, you need to pay the tax difference. Of course, this is
Okay,
first,
make it
and
up and-
then you need to pay penalties.
Penalties.
And this penalty will be will be from 0.5 times to 5 times of the
Lord.
tax difference.
Penalty, okay.
Yeah, this is the penalty according to how serious the problem
The
is.
amount and
So you
whatnot.
pay the difference and then you pay the penalty
And also
on
you
what you
pay
evaded.
late fee.
Late
you pay
fee.
late fee. And this late fee is 0.05% every day, and which comes to 18% every year.
18.
My Lord.
Yeah,
Right.
18.
And
yeah.
at what point you need to go to jail?
When you can't pay, I guess.
On
Yes, but normally now you don't go to jail unless you're you're very uncooperative.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.